Next, in the killing of beloved Laney College football coach and current athletic director John Beam amid an outpouring of condolences following his death.
Coach Beam, he was Laney. Laney, it's going to be a lot different. And hopefully, the town responds to this.
From KTVU Fox 2 News, this is The Four.
John Beam, the well-known and highly respected athletic director at Laney College in Oakland, died earlier today, one day after he was shot on campus. This afternoon, police say a suspect is in custody in connection with his killing. Welcome, everyone, to The Four this afternoon. I'm Alex Savage.
And I'm Crystal Bailey. Our crime reporter Henry Lee is live now from Oakland Police Department with the latest details in this investigation. Henry?
Alex and Crystal, that suspect was arrested early this morning, hours before John Beam was pronounced dead at a hospital, and that suspect booked at about 2 this afternoon on suspicion of murder.
My legacy is going to be the young people like you just saw.
Iconic Laney College athletic director John Beam, the legendary former head coach, died at the hospital Friday morning, a day after he was shot on the Oakland campus.
The loss of such an absolutely incredible human being.
Beam was shot at about noon Thursday at the Laney College field house. The suspect, 27-year-old Cedric Irving Jr., was spotted by Alameda County Sheriff's deputies before dawn Friday at the San Leandro BART station and arrested on suspicion of murder. Police said the gun used in the killing was recovered. A motive is unclear. Police say Irving was not a Laney student but loitered around campus. But he did play football at Skyline High School long after Beam was coached there.
This was a very targeted incident, and I will say that Coach Beam, although they did not have a close relationship, was open to helping everybody in our community.
Assistant Oakland Police Chief James Beer, who will become interim top cop in 3 weeks when Floyd Mitchell steps down, said police use many camera systems, including those on AC transit buses, to track the suspect down.
We looked at every camera that we could legally look at. I will tell you we used Ring cameras, business cameras, cameras that we have access to.
He gave Oakland's youth their best chance, and he never stopped fighting for them.
Oakland Mayor Barbara Lee said her nephew played for Beam at Skyline, where a 15-year-old student was shot and wounded a day before Beam was attacked.
This is the gun violence crisis playing out in real time. In the places where our young people, and staff and administrators, coaches, everyone should feel safe.
Now, the Alameda County DA's office will review the case to determine what charges this suspect could face. He's being held without bail. Alex and Crystal.
All right, Henry Lee, live for us in Oakland. Henry, thank you. And Coach Beam was a well-known figure here in the Bay Area's football community, and he helped to launch a number of NFL careers.
And for many, his mentoring went beyond the football field. KTVU's Bailey O'Carroll tells us more about Beam's history and legacy.
What's our problem? John Beam has been a pillar in the Bay Area for 45 years.
2 laps. We're ready. Let's go. Break this up.
Through football, he dedicated his life to Bay Area youth.
Sometimes young people, no one believes in them. Someone has to. So might as well be me. Right? Let's do it.
Beam's coaching career started in 1979 at Sarah High School in San Diego. He followed his soon-to-be wife to the Bay Area and took a job coaching football at Skyline High School in 1982. 2 years later, he recorded a perfect season. At Skyline, he won 15 league championships and helped more than 100 players reach the Division I level, more than anyone else in Northern California. After more than a decade, Beam wanted a new challenge. He thought about coaching at the Division I level, but Beam didn't want to spend that much time away from his family. He joined the staff at Laney College, a community college in Oakland, as a running backs coach in 2004. A year later, he became the offensive coordinator. Beam's offense was high octane and helped the Eagles win 3 conference championships and 5 straight bowl games. In 2012, Beam was promoted to head coach at Laney College. He led the Eagles to 2 league titles and 4 more bowl games. Coach Beam's winning ways drew national attention.
Welcome to Laney College.
Touchdown!
The defending state and national champions.
In 2020, Beam's Laney College program was selected by Netflix to be a part of its Last Chance U series, a popular show that follows small college football programs. In 2024, Beam stepped away from coaching because of the changes in college football.
The college landscape's changing in a lot of ways with the NIL and transfer portal. And, you know, For me, it was always about teaching young men or young women, you know, student athletes, you know, how to be, you know, how to fit into society and do certain things like, you know, be true to your word and commitment. The new world order is to change schools and go to the highest bidder. I didn't want to be a part of that.
Beam couldn't stay far from the field. He stayed on as Laney College's athletic director. Between Laney and Skyline, Beam has produced more than 20 NFL players. 7 of them played in a Super Bowl. Beam was 66 years old.
And that was Bailey O'Carroll reporting for us. We are continuing to see those who knew Coach Beam honoring his legacy today. NBA All-Star and Oakland native Damian Lillard posted this tribute on Instagram. He said that Coach Beam gave him his first job that he ever had at Laney football games. Lillard wrote, quote, "Hundreds of kids all over Oakland became the type of men they are today because of this dude."
And he's just one of the many folks who is pouring an outpouring of support for his family right now. We're obviously joined now by sports anchor Joe Fonzie. I understand you knew him.
You know, yeah, the first thing that comes to my mind is just what a waste. Because John Beam's only intention, and we first saw that at Skyline High School when he was the head coach there, he first came to our attention here at KTVU, he would have an annual day when kids committed to their colleges. And I remember one year, he had 6 Division I athletes from Skyline High School that were going on to major colleges. And that was press conference worthy. We came out there and covered that and covered the kids. And his only objective was to make kids better, to give them the discipline that would benefit them later on in life, not just as a football player. Then he went on to Laney College and went under national scrutiny at that point, and obviously with the Netflix series, Last Chance U, and people that around the whole world got a chance to see what we already knew about him locally, how devoted he was to making this a better place and to give kids who probably the vast majority, we mentioned some NFL players, some college players, right. The vast majority were never going to do that. They were going to be under his tutelage for maybe 2 years or in high school for 4 years to give them life skills and to make them better people advancing forward off of the football field. And that's what's such a loss to me about this, that those skills are going to be lost with a guy who was still doing those things as athletic director at the college there.
Yeah, especially at a place like Laney College, right? I mean, obviously, as you point out, I mean, he helped to launch some professional careers, but that, you know, that wasn't what his career was about. I mean, he was driven by this intense focus on trying to reach young people and teach them some of these valuable life lessons. Why do you think Coach Beam was so effective at being able to connect with the young athletes that he was involved with?
I think with good coaches, it's a combination of you have to know football. They're gonna see through you in a second if you don't. So you have to know football. Yeah. But then the really good coaches on any level, high school level, professional level, are the ones who can also connect as human beings. You have to get to know the people, and it's maybe a sports cliche, but there are some guys that need to have their arm put around them and some that need a kick in the butt. Yeah. And identifying those and being able to do that, and I've said this before about sports, it really is a metaphor for what life's supposed to be about. Collectively, we're one thing, and if we pull together, we can be something bigger. Yeah. And he was able to do that with his connection with the players.
Yeah, he had a big heart, but he was also tough.
He was a disciplinarian.
Right. You mentioned it before you came on the show about his premiere on Last Chance U. He wasn't always easy on these guys, right?
No, that's absolutely right, because he taught them discipline, and we're back to the same things that he did, which were life skills, you know, not just football skills. You know, he was trying to teach his kids what happens after football, what happens if you show up late for work every day or don't show up to work. Well, guess what? You don't keep the job. Right. And his vast majority of his players were going to be those people as opposed to professional football players, and he wanted to give them those skill sets that help them in life after football.
All right. I mean, obviously an incredible mentor, but he was a pretty good football coach. I mean, over the years, he was very successful at Skyline High School, and then had obviously great success at Laney College as well. You think to yourself, boy, he could have really gone on to some bigger schools and moved on somewhere else, but he didn't, and he remained here in the East Bay. What does that say to you about his commitment to this community?
But to your point, obviously you have to be both. You have to be both skilled in football and the human relations that we're talking about. But he really felt, I think, that his mission was here. He was happy doing what he was doing here. He probably felt like he could help this community more staying here than he could taking the money and going someplace else. And you heard that quote that he said there about taking the money. He really was not comfortable with the climate that college football has evolved into with the NIL and the transfer portal, where it's purely about, in many cases, the first thing a recruit will say is, well, how much am I getting paid? And I don't think he wanted to deal with that type of climate, but he did still want to stay involved with the program as athletic director and continue to influence people.
Clearly very morally driven. He also mentioned his family, wanting to spend more time with him. He was a family man. This person also had a lot of influence outside of the sports realm. I think even Matt Horn, he's a well-known chef here in Oakland, speaking about him. Can you talk a little about the impact here in the local community that he's leaving behind here?
No, I've seen times where people would just come up to him on the street when they see him in Oakland. You know, Coach Beam, how's it going? What's going? His first question back to them was, what's going on with your life? I've seen him do that, where he would say, okay, I remember you from a couple of years ago, I haven't talked to you for a couple of years. What are you doing right now? Nothing made him happier than to realize that someone who came up to him was getting their life in order and moving forward with their lives. I saw that happen personally many times.
Yeah, he had just an incredible influence on countless lives in the East Bay through his coaching and his mentoring.
And again, just so senseless, and he will be missed.
Awful. All right, Joe, thank you. We appreciate you coming on.
Happy to be here.